This lesson is about what we call the abbreviated or the shortened or the opening letters. Objectives. To understand what the opening, separate or abbreviated letters are, so that's three different terminologies for the same thing. We're going to learn how they are pronounced, and we're going to look at which surahs in the Quran have these opening letters. So I'm going to call them the abbreviated letters. Okay, some people call them the separated letters, and in Arabic they're known as the muqatta'at. Okay. Now, literally, this means abbreviated or shortened. They're also known sometimes as the fawatih or openers, as they form the opening verse of the respected chapters. So these are some letters that are right at the beginning of the surah. There are 29 surahs in the Holy Quran that begin with the letters, okay? And they're not really words, and there are a lot of different opinions about what they actually mean, whether anybody knows the real meaning of them, whether they've got some numerical meanings, etc. We're not going to go into that. We just, for our purposes, are going to see how they're pronounced. So I'll look at an example. So here we have the first line from Surah Yasin, and these are some of these opening or abbreviated letters. So the first thing to note is these abbreviated letters are pronounced as the names of the letters, not as sounds. So the first example we've got here, and it's from the Uthmani script, is Yasin. Okay, so these are the names of the letters. And below we've got the same thing in the Majidi or Indo-Pak script, and we can just see the slight difference in the way they're written. Now the little jim in the Indo-Pak script is a stop marker, which we covered in the lesson on stopping and pausing, so just ignore that for now. Okay, so we know that these are pronounced as the name of the letters, and the basics are that they are pronounced at certain lengths. And in this case, in the Uthmani script, the ya has no sign on it, but one of the rules is that the ya is pronounced as too long. The sin has the mad sign on it, so that is pronounced as 6 long. Okay, so that's the rule of the abbreviated letters. If it carries a mad sign, then it's 6 long. If it doesn't carry a sign on it, then it will be too long. In the Indo-Pak or Majidi script, they help you out a little bit more. So on the ya, they've put the short alif or the dagger alif to indicate it's too long, and on the sin they use this mad sign, which in the Majidi script indicates it's 6 long. Okay, so that would be pronounced as Yasin. Okay, and if you go to Surah Yasin and listen to that first line, you'll see how they pronounce that. Okay, so what we've got here then is the rules for these abbreviated letters, and I've broken it down into 3 groups. So all of these letters that you're looking at are the only ones that will appear as these abbreviated or separate letters, and they follow 3 different rules, and I've broken them down into 3 groups. So the first one is the letter alif. Now this is pronounced as alif and not as a. Okay, and when you say alif, it's just as long as it takes to say the word alif. So we could say that's just 1 long, so we just say alif. Then the next set, the ra, the ha, the ta, the soft ha, and the ya, effectively are all pronounced 2 lengths long. And I'll read out the description here. These letters will have no vowel markings, but are pronounced as if they have a dagger or short alif on them, i.e. they're 2 lengths long in the Uthmani script. In the Majidi or Indo-Pak script, they will have the dagger alif, and we just saw that. So these 5 letters, effectively the 2 has, the ra, the tha and the ya will always be too long. Okay, even though we're pronouncing the name of the letter, when you pronounce the name of the letter, it will be too long. So we just saw you had ya, you will have tha, ha, ra, ha, all of them too long. And the alif is just quickly said as alif, one long. The next group of letters, so we have the ayn, the qaf, the kaf, the lam, the mim, the noon, the sin, and the sad will always be pronounced as 6 long. And again, they're pronounced as the name of the letter, not as the sound. So these letters will all have the mad or the madda sign above them and will be pronounced as 6 lengths long. Okay. So let's look at the surahs now. So we've got 3 slides which cover all of the different combinations and a list of all the surah numbers and the name of the surahs. So this first one is Alif, Lam, Mim. Okay, so the Alif is just said as Alif, and then the Lam and the Mim have the Madda sign, so they're going to be 6 long. So that would be Alif, Lam, Mim. And that occurs in Surah 2, 3, 29, Surah 30, 31 and 32. So if you go and have a look at all those surahs, the Alif, Lam, Mim will be the first line. Then we have the Alif, Lam, Mim, Sad, and that's only in Surah 7. Then we have the Alif, Lam and Ra. Okay, remember the Ra does not have any sign on it, but it will be too long. So that's in Surah 10, 11, 12, 14 and 15. Then we have Alif, Lam, Mim, Ra, and that's in Surah 13. Then we have Kaf, Ha, Ya, Ain, Sad, and that's in Surah 19. Then we have Ta and Ha, and that's in Surah 20. Then we have Ta, Sin, Mim, chapter 26, sorry, Surah 26, 28. And then we have Ta and Sin, and that's Surah 27. And then we have Yasin in Surah 36. So that's Yasin. Then we have the letter Sad on its own, and that's Surah 38. Then we have Ha Mim, which is Surah 40, 41, 43, 44, 45 and 46. And then we have this Surah 42. They actually have 2 lines with 2 sets of these abbreviated letters. So the first one is Ha Mim, and then the second sentence is Ain, Sin, Qaf. Then Surah 50 starts with Qaf, and Surah 68 starts with Noon, and the 2 little jeems there are again for stopping or pausing, which we covered in the other lesson on stopping and pausing signs. Okay, so in conclusion then, we know what the opening letters are. They're also known as the separate letters or the abbreviated letters. We know how they're pronounced, so the letter Alif is just pronounced as Alif. We had a few letters which were always too long and pronounced as the names of the letters. Then we have the other group which are all pronounced 6 lengths long, which will have the Madda sign, and they're all pronounced as the name of the letters as well. And you've got a list of the surahs that contain them. So the best thing to do is to go through the list of the surahs, go to a website and listen to the actual recitation of those opening letters.